Hello once again, Star Wars buddies. Just gonna take a close look at some stills I've pulled off the Book of Boba Fett trailer. Now, the show was announced in the post-credit scene of the Season 2 finale of The Mandalorian, and here we go. So the trailer opens with a nice establishing shot of Jabba's palace and a spider droid. Now, these are perimeter droids. They patrol in and around the palace, and the glass ball supposedly contains the brain of a monk, as the palace is a former monk monastery that was basically taken over by Jabba. Okay, so what's interesting about this shot is at the end of The Mandalorian, Boba's armor looked pretty pristine. So it looks like Boba has seen some action at this point. Clearly it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of Tamara Morrison, which is fine by me. And it appears he's in the penthouse at the top of the tower of the palace, just judging by the vista out the window. Again with the armor motif on the Lucasfilm logo. Now this shot's really interesting. He's someone of importance. And hey, he's an Ithorian. So that's awesome. Now, I don't know what planet this is or what city this is, but this looks amazing. What a shot. Yeah, we'll take a moment and just take this all in. Now we get a nice look at the throne with carvings of Rancor heads in the armrests and what appears to be Huttese hieroglyphics in the back. Maybe we'll find out more about that when the show airs. Here we get our first action shot, and I think the image basically speaks for itself. We got a nice image of Fennec Shan, looking fierce and stunning, might I add. And it appears these Gamorrean guards are totally down with the new order of things. Now, this shot had me wondering if Boba hasn't been getting some kind of healing treatment, as he's looking pretty good in these photos. He's looking pretty healthy. Now, at first I thought this was a pretty standard shot, just another establishing shot. But when I looked a little closer, it looks like a lone figure approaching the palace, with just a single set of footprints following. So that's pretty curious. These next series of images have really got me excited. It's got a really underworld feel. I mean, you just look at these guys and they just look like criminal scum. Meanwhile, the sight of Boba sitting at the head of the table, flanked by his guards, really tells us who's in charge here. I love this. Yes, more aliens, please. The more wretched and conniving, the better. You can just tell the moment you turn your back on these guys, they're plotting against you, for sure. And now these next couple of shots kind of pose more questions than answers. Is there a possible romance in the show? Of course, everything I know about Boba Fett, after having read the Bounty Hunter Wars, which I highly recommend, Boba tends to only tell you what he thinks you need to know, and I have a feeling Fennec is probably pressing for more details of the plan. Now, with these words, I think the table is set. Explore the underworld of Star Wars. Now, how are the Sand People gonna factor in? It appears he may have lived among them. We don't know. Perhaps all that gear he carried was stolen. We don't know. So that should be an interesting storyline. Ah, the old knife in the rifle stock trick. I kind of like that. Fennec's full of surprises. Now I like how Fennec is right behind Boba. You can tell she's got his back. Okay, so this is Jennifer Beals, and it seems appropriate because Twi'leks are known for their dancing, and some of you may be old enough to remember Jennifer Beals from the movie Flashdance, where she put on one of the greatest dance routines in cinematic history. So we know she can dance, and don't be surprised if we see that displayed in the show. Of course, we're going to see some flight action from Slave One. Now, one thing I can say with absolute certainty is obviously Obi-Wan never visited Jabba's palace. He thought the cantina was the most wretched hive of scum and villainy. One look at this table and I gotta tell you, these guys look a lot scummier than the denizens of Mos Eisley Cantina. And who better to lay a guiding hand on this room full of scum than the steely-eyed Boba Fett, who won't even break eye contact even when he's drinking. Now, obviously, this is raising some questions. To see Boba's helmet on the ground, spilling out what appear to be Republican credits, no less. These next few stills are very interesting. The tech looks cool. Obviously our main characters are in peril, but it looks like we get to see them kick some butt. Just a fascinating series of images. I've gotta say I love the color palette, the lighting, just the images are evocative of the underworld. It's very reassuring. We're under the umbrella of Favreau, Filoni, and according to IMDb, Robert Rodriguez is going to be heavily involved with the series, which is welcome news. Well, that brings us to the end of the in-depth look at this trailer. If you guys have any thoughts or theories of your own, go ahead and drop them in the comment section.
Please, speak freely.